Francis, you want to explain what we have here?
Yeah, we've got a LeBron crying face is now taking over the internet. I will partially, once we get to a reactions clip, take credit for helping this go forward because I seen it as soon as he started breaking down. It was going to happen. But we have our only Golden State memorabilia is the bin, and now it's been taken over by LeBron James, unfortunately, who is now in the face of Steph Curry, I believe.
Michael Jordan's going to be the happiest man.
Yeah, that's what I said. He's like, thank fuck! Leave me alone!
Yeah, deservedly so. All right, so into the game itself, Francis, LeBron James, and this is, by the way, the people who can't stand LeBron James, just do yourself a favor and leave the clip entirely because it's going to get, and you're going to mention, salty in the comment section below. It's been salty over the internet. What has to be taken away from this, though, is what LeBron and Kyrie Irving, really, those two, did in this series, games 5, 6, and 7, were legendary moments. And as a neutral basketball fan in general, obviously my Knicks fandom, but as a neutral basketball fan, there's really nothing you could possibly have asked for more out of an NBA Finals. Was there controversy? Yes. Was there bad calls? Was there good calls? Yes. Could you blame certain things on officiating, on the play of certain players? Did superstars show up in the right moment and then not disappear completely other? Of course. But that's what makes a 7-game series a 7-game series. Yeah. No, I didn't think the Cavs could win this series when they were down 3-1. I think the Cavs were going to win the series in the first place. But I think as Scott Van Pelt put it yesterday night, as the last word for SportsCenter, if you still criticize LeBron James, you need to find a different axe to grind because there is no more criticism for him. It's gone. He's 3-4 in the finals. Sure, he's not Michael Jordan, but the greatest basketball minds all got together not long ago and pretty much said there's not going to be another Michael Jordan. Yeah. Let LeBron be LeBron. Let Kobe be Kobe. Let Michael be Michael.
Yeah, and I think that you make the best point, and that's why this is why we love to do this. This is why we have the best job in the world to talk about this, right? And we often overlook it at times, but the point I wanted to take is I was texting Jason last night, right? I never thought I would be able to, going to get a little nostalgic, a little sentimental. Ooh. I never thought I'd be able to enjoy a sport as much as a sport I was brought up, just told to appreciate. It wasn't my fault that I was just in a world where football was the only thing. In moments that I have watched in football, Sergio Aguero's last-minute goal for Man City, neutral fan, just moved by how much it meant to the fans. I was moved by how much this meant to LeBron James, right? And this is what I want to talk about. And Jason, you're right. If you don't want to hear about LeBron James, I would never want to turn away our audience, but you may as well turn away because this is all about LeBron James. Yes, Kyrie Irving had his role to play. Yes, Kevin Love had his role to play as a decoy, who's now still looking for an after party, according to some
For the onion duck, yeah.
But let's talk about LeBron for a minute, right? Not one play I've ever seen in sports encompasses a person, an athlete, as much as that block does for LeBron James, right? Because how many times has LeBron James faced adversity from media, from fellow athletes, from everyone stating that he is just a loser and that he's not clutch enough and he takes the easy road. No athlete has ever taken a harder road than LeBron James. He could have stayed at Miami. He could have stayed there in a championship-proven winning team and went on and further obtained greatness. But he made a promise to that city of Cleveland. He made a promise that he was going to deliver them a final, right? So watch the block. Again, not only does it demonstrate insane athleticism, the most I've ever seen for any athlete, but it demonstrates that he just will not take no for an answer. He could have given up on that play, miles back, given up and allowed.
Like 99.9% of the rest of the NBA, he could have given up on that play.
You put James Harden in that situation, not to brag on James Harden, he's not chasing that back. Iguodala was in LeBron's face from the moment this finals is taken over. He was given the accolade of being LeBron James' kryptonite of the last NBA finals. Causing him a problem. LeBron says no, right? And this is the other point I wanted to make, so I don't want to rag on it too much, but success is a fucking choice that you make. LeBron James encompasses that. He chose to be successful. Yes, his body is half the part of it, right? But what do you need to do to make sure that your body, at the age of what, Jason?
31.
31, still is able to do that? You make a choice to go to ice baths every day, to practice, to perfect your game, to take a loss from last year, bounce back, know what it takes to go and win, because he has to drag everyone up to his level. Yes, there are definite, I would say, cases to make for the Kyrie Irving being his Scottie Pippen and other players in that team helping LeBron James get to that level. But he had to drag his teammates up. He had to make sure that his body was in just impeccable physical shape to be able to do that. And then your mind is the other half of it. Because you can be a gifted athlete. There is a million gifted athletes in this world. There's not a lot that are like LeBron James who are as gifted as he is, but he makes a choice every single day. I guarantee that guy last night didn't touch a drop of alcohol and probably went, you know what? The hard work starts again next week. I'll take a week off. I'll relax. The hard work starts for the Olympics. The hard work starts again for Cleveland next year because that's the person he is. And if you're going to keep comparing, just fucking stop already and appreciate the greatness. His motto is strive for greatness. We all need to strive for a little bit of chill on the internet and just realize that this guy is an unbelievable athlete. He's in the room with all the best. I'm sick of the comparisons with Jordan. I'm sick of the comparisons. I've only been watching the game for, 10 years or whatever. I just know that in my time as a basketball fan, he's unbelievable. If you go to 6 consecutive finals, Lionel Messi goes to 6 consecutive Champions League, there's not even a fucking conversation. He's the best of all time. And he wins 3 out of those 6 consecutive ones. 2 different teams. Stop already.
So to some stats on LeBron, and then I want to get into what Draymond Green did in the first half. I don't want people like, we're not going to forget about that. What happened to the Splash Brothers late in that game, really what happened to the Warriors' offense late in games is what happened, what cost them, I want to say, this finals. In this one, Andrew Bogut injury obviously played a major, major role. Andrew Bogut's injury, taking him out of the game, or at least out of Game 7, his ability to block in the paint, to be that extra, another big help defense to that team, in addition to the fact that Maurice Spates did not play like Maurice Spates did in the regular season, and Festus Ezeli did not play like Festus Ezeli played during the regular season. The replacements for Bogut were not good. Therefore, it just showed. And Varejao, I mean, I can't believe, and Cenk, our CEO, who did one of the recaps, I think it was Game 6 on Facebook Live, he basically said that Varejao should be the 9th guy on, quote, the Vancouver Grizzlies. It's the Memphis Grizzlies nowadays, but at the same time, he's not wrong. He should be the 9th guy on the Vancouver Grizzlies.
And he's still going to get a ring.
And I think he still gets a ring anyway, though. So let's get to LeBron's finals numbers and the leading all stats. So this is the first 2. Here's the times a player averaged 30 points per game, 10 rebounds per game, and 8 assists per game in an NBA Finals. LeBron James, twice. Every other player in NBA history, never. Just let that sink in. And we move on to this one, too, because I get that Kyrie Irving, yes, I'm a huge Kyrie fan, too. Did he get snubbed from the MVP of the Finals? No, because LeBron led everybody, every single player on the floor, whether his team or against his team, or the Warriors, first. That's legendary status. That's legendary numbers. All right, but here's, I think, the most, one of the more scary tweets. Now, the Warriors, in general, I've always said this the entire season. 73-9 does not mean a damn thing if you don't finish the job. And I can always go back to the Patriots were 18-0. Then they faced the New York Giants and they lost. And nobody talks about the 18-0 Patriots. They talk about the New York Giants winning the Super Bowl. No one's going to talk that much about the 73-9 Golden State Warriors. They're going to talk about how LeBron James and the Cleveland Cavaliers and Kyrie Irving and J.R. Smith came back to win that series. That's what's going to be remembered most when it comes to this NBA Finals. So this is what the Warriors did in crunch time in Games 3, 5, and 7. 2 points in the last 3 minutes and 20 seconds of Game 3. 1 point in the last 6 minutes and 40 seconds of Game 5. None in the last 4 minutes and 30 seconds of Game 7. You can't rig that, Francis. Yeah. And I get it. Look, was there the suspension? Did it have its effect? Of course it did. But the Warriors still could have won Game 5 and 6. What that Cavs team did, truly remarkable. So to the game itself, Draymond Green, in the first half, my God, was he bailing out that entire team. Actually, I shouldn't say bailing out, because we've seen Clay bring the Warriors off life support before. Now we kind of saw Draymond Green carrying it. Everything the Warriors' game plan was going right in the first half. What I found so shocking was the Cavs are going punch for punch.
Yeah.
Because in the first half, Draymond Green could not miss from behind the arc. It was getting wide open. The mismatches, the screens were causing mayhem for the Cavaliers on defense. Nobody was picking that up. I got to give Kevin Love credit for the rebounding effort he put in that game. He even stripped away a couple balls underneath the rim. He played with more heart than any of the centers that the Warriors threw out in Game 7. So we can, discredit Kevin Love as much as you want. He had his place in the game. The other important things I took away from that one, J.R. Smith's back-to-back threes was the momentum shift in the third quarter. J.R. Smith gets the green light all too often. And by the way, J.R. Smith's going to meet Obama at the White House. That's something that's going to happen, which I think is hilarious and awesome. Everything wrapped into one, because there's going to be a guy in a suit and tie and a New York tattoo on his Adam's apple. Just let that sink in, too. So J.R. Smith, the Cavs hit 1 3 up until that point. The Warriors were on fire from behind the arc. They could not. It seemed like they could not miss. They were getting the shots they wanted, even though Curry and Thompson were not able to hit everything. They were still finding their rhythm at that point. JR hits back-to-back threes, and all of a sudden the Cavs start to come back and chip away. And from that point on, it was a defensive showcase from all of the Cleveland Cavaliers. And Kyrie Irving, who is, again, we mentioned a prolific scorer. We talked about it in how the Cavs can beat the Warriors clip. Don't let Kyrie be a point guard. Let LeBron be the point guard. Let Kyrie score. He creates so well off the dribble. He did it so many times. And, of course, I don't think there was even a better some people were like, well, I wanted LeBron to get that game-winning three. I thought Kyrie was absolutely deserving of getting that game-winning three.
Of course.
In that game.
Tristan Thompson deserves a great mention as well. Everyone in the Cavs team had a role to play at certain points. I want to go back to mention what you said about Draymond Green. As someone tweeted out saying Draymond Green is playing like he thinks he's LeBron James.
Yes.
And that is the best thing that could have happened for the finals, the best thing that could have happened for him. Not the best thing because he didn't win, but for his own personal gain, he's proven that he is able to mix it with some of the best that we've ever seen. And the next point I wanted to make, because you've wrapped everything up perfectly, there's no point in piggybacking on that. That's exactly what you need to hear when it comes to the finals. I did want to talk about the other end of the spectrum for a little bit. Golden State, articles, choke, and it looks like, according to the stats, they don't know how to close out games, specifically against the Cavs when the pressure became a little too much. But it is that opposite end. The Golden State Warriors represent now what happens to LeBron James every single year that he doesn't win, right? They're now, it doesn't matter. They're losers. They don't deserve to get that, right? Golden State Warriors are still in pretty good nick, as we say in Scotland, which means pretty good shape.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Be right back in next year.
Who are going to be right back. They're probably going to add, they now understand their weaknesses. They need to add, I think, backup centers. They need to add someone who's going to be able to come in and do as Tristan Thompson can do in certain moments.
They need to not sign Harrison Barnes.
Yeah, Harrison Barnes was the brunt of many memes, which we'll get to, by the way, in our reaction clip. But I think it's a harsh reality of sports, is that you either win it all and you get all the accolades, or you are the brunt and you're put at the bottom of the pile. And the Golden State Warriors were the best ever regular season team we've ever seen. Ever. But the harsh reality of sports is, as we continue to allude to during the regular season, is it won't mean shit to neutral basketball fans or fans that just want to look at the bright, sparkly part of the sport because they didn't get the trophy at the end. But again, I'm not going to jump on that bandwagon and be like, they're just complete. Like, Steph Curry is not worth all the credit that he deserves. Like, those moments didn't happen. Those moments just didn't, like, well, let me pick that part up. But I'm not going to jump on the bandwagon of Steph Curry and say that those moments against OKC where he made that unbelievable jumper just didn't happen. They happened. He proved time and time again that he was the player that everyone else had made him out to be. So, yes, he didn't show up as much as LeBron James did. And LeBron James, that's why he's the unique specimen that we will go on to. But I'm not going to discredit phenomenal basketball players who put on just an unbelievable show that has made me forever a basketball fan, and right up there, just right next to the mighty football. That's how close it is, Jay.
All right.
Right there.
We're wrapping up.
We're wrapping up.
Make sure to comment below with what you think of Steph Curry and the Warriors and LeBron James. Where is it?
Right here.
I can't. What? There it is. All right. Comment below. Like, favorite, subscribe, share the video on Facebook and Twitter. That would be great. We'll see you next time.